engineer working for Triple Play Services now in an IPT solution. If you want to know what IPT solutions is, if you go into hotel rooms or hospitals, you can watch TV, but what it does is you can get from the feed from one satellite and distribute it to more rooms, which is a very cost-effective way. Basically, I want to perform my experiences since I arrived in the UK a very short time back only, and there are more students here who are trying to develop their career in any professional, whether it be in IT or any other field, and it will be more helpful for them so that I can encourage them to go into IT field and what they can do to actually get a good job or whatever they want to do with their lives. I arrived in the UK in February 2010 as a student for a Masters in Computer Science from University of Bedfordshire. I arrived in the UK when the time was very difficult and it was so hard to get jobs here, and I was out of job for like 4 months' time. I was doing just commission-based jobs and then wandering around for how I can make my CV better so that people would actually recognize me. Fortunately, I came to know about the career services in the university, which is basically there are funds from the government themselves to have an internship for their students. Many people might not know about it, especially the students, because us being from the background we are from, we are quite hesitant to go forward, ask for something, and then, get ourselves forward, basically. What I would like to say to all the students that don't be shy, just go forward to it. If you don't ask for it, you're never going to get it. So you need to go through all the career services and everywhere, ask them how you can make your CVs better. It's not just for the students here, but I'm sure you have children at home who are trying to get into IT or any other professional service, trying to get a career. What I would say to parents is just encourage your children to go forward, don't be shy, don't hold back to yourself, because I was quite a very shy person. I've never put myself forward ever to actually do something, but since arriving in the UK, what I've realized is it's very important that you put yourself forward, don't hold back, especially for the students who, first of all, they get a cultural shock when they get in, and then they don't know what to do after that. So I've known many friends who just wander around and then they just think that going to the career services or anywhere is a waste of time. It is not. They help you out with different kind of services, even improving your CV so that when you graduate you're quite ready to get the jobs that you want. And fortunately, I was very lucky, or whatever you say, I did work hard for it. I was selected as one of the interns from the government-funded internship program for IT in a company, a very small company, but it was worth it. I worked there for 3 months as an intern for web development, for developing their e-commerce site where they can actually buy stuff from the service. It was basically a very, I would say, good job. I wasn't paid very, generously, but still it was a good experience for me because I was quite recognized after that, and then they started having employment after that one. Fortunately, after graduating, I had to go to lots of career services and then again recruitment companies as well to put my CV forward, and then I got a really good job in Triple Play Services in August 2011, and I've been working there since then. I'll continue with that. Okay. Basically, my work experience is as a software engineer, but again, as being a girl and then in a male-dominant society, I would say, because there are many people, girls in the IT industry. even when I was very awkward for me. Fortunately, I have friends and family who has also been quite helpful for me, trying to encourage me to get forward, because it's not very easy when you are a woman and you're in a male-dominant job. Especially when I was asked what you can do, because there are so many men in this company, what you can do as a woman. I was like, I can do whatever a man can do, and I can do that on my heels as well. So I think my boss was quite impressed with that answer, that he said, okay, you're hired. I don't need to understand anything more. And it has been quite challenging, especially because of the language problems that we face, and also the cultural shock, cultural difference we have as working in Nepalese society and then working here in England, because I've already had experience in Nepal as an IT engineer for a couple of years, and when things, political change conditions and the infrastructure of Nepal, it wasn't very good for developing our career. So I had to have, after lots of thoughts, I had to move myself here and then start it all over again, which in some cases has been a very good experience, whether it be the hard way, but again, it was worth it. Basically now what I do is I'm working for a European Commission-based project. Unfortunately, I can't present it here because I'm not allowed to from my work. It is basically for helping out residents, the old people, to help themselves communicate with the world via TV. So what we basically do is, what you see in iPads and iPhones now, we basically present that on the TV, and then their family who might be abroad or who are working can't visit their elderly or their family, they can communicate via television. It's basically, I don't want to go into very technical details because it would be quite boring for most of you. Basically, it's just a communication, connecting between the parents who are living in the resident home with the family who are living elsewhere. Fortunately, I have been able to develop this project for American market and Australian market as well, because with the growing trend that most of the elderly are going into the resident house rather than living in the family home, so we are building a trend that they should be able to, be in touch with their family, so that they know what it's like in the outside world rather than just living inside the resident houses. I'd like to share with you one of the experiences that I have. Even I would know as well, he was the one to criticize me in the first place. But it was quite helpful. It was in a very finished way that it was. He has actually helped me develop my career a lot. Thanks for that. In one of my classes, what happened was, it was an introduction class, and then the professor started asking questions. I haven't understood any of the maths whatsoever, and then when he started asking questions, I was so frustrated that I got up and then said, I haven't understood anything that has been taught in this class ever since the first day. Lots of people laughed at me. And then the professor, he said that you don't have to be embarrassed. Lots of people actually don't know even a single thing about this class, but only you had the courage to get up and then ask it. And that thing has actually set in my mind that that day I did realize that if you don't ask for it, you're not going to get it. So I would like to tell all of you that encourage your children and the students here, just ask for it. Don't just hold yourself back, because we have a very bad habit of just, being shy, not getting out, and then that's where we miss our opportunities. So I would like to just encourage people to have encourage their children and then yourself as well to just, ask for it. Don't be shy about it. think we're running out of time, are we?
Okay. We have a little bit of time.
Okay.
We've got 2 more minutes.
Okay.
If you're finished, it's okay. Sometimes what happens is that when you interact, then you can explain more. Yes, that's what I meant. But if you got something, we got a couple of minutes.
Okay. So I would like to just tell all of you that if you have children who are students and trying to build their career, encourage them. If they want to get into an IT business and they are girls, encourage them more because they will need it. Because it's really very hard for women to get into a male-dominant job, especially when you're the only woman in the office and everybody starts staring at you and then asking you stupid questions like, you know, up until recently I used to have kind of imposter syndrome, which is a psychological phenomenon that, you know, you don't know anything and everything is going around because of your luck. But now that I know that whatever I have done today, it was because I had that in me, it's much more easier. And also I have family who have supported me and encouraged me, because it's not very easy when you're traveling, you're a girl, you're traveling alone, having your family waiting for you. Most people don't allow that, but fortunately for me, I've been allowed by my family, especially my fiance who's sitting back there. Thank you for encouraging me all the time to do whatever I wanted to do. And also my family as well back home. Without them, I would not have done anything. And also, I would like to thank Pasa who has been quite encouraging in a criticizing manner, but yes. I would like to thank everyone here for listening out to me, and if somebody needs advice on how to build a career, especially students, I would be much more happier than help them out to what to look for and where to look for. Thank you.
Subha, Alka Bajracharya. Thank you for, Alka, that putting her experience, and which I'm sure most of, students experience in this country. So we got a couple of minutes. If you have any questions which, so you'd like to ask, that she can elaborate. Yes, please.
Hi, so that's good. Thanks for everything. I'm Trey Tulala, and I have a company called Oriental UK, and I come across a lot of CVs. Okay, and most of the CVs, I think the content is still there, but it's so bland. It doesn't have the wow factor. And what did you do in your case to change it from before you applied for the internship and all that, to change it? Because I think it's important for most students and all that. You tend to pay too much, and if you loses your key point in the story.
Well, what I would say is don't make your CV longer than 2 pages, because no one is interested in reading that. It's long term, 4 or 5 pages. People really get bored. What I would suggest people to do is just put your personal information and then your unique selling point, like what projects. And again, it depends on what kind of job you're applying for, because I've seen that most people, they just send the same CV to all of them, and then you don't see what you're looking for. So go through all the job requirements first, and then if you think that you have a unique selling point from that point, just put that one only, don't put anything apart from that. That's basically related to the job description.
Just coming back to, can I just follow up on this?
Yes.
Coming back. I guess the CV you sent in the poll while you're working, how is it so different now, the CV you sent?
I used to have 5 pages of CV with all the projects I've done. Looking back at it, it really is boring. So I do interview lots of people now for a new job role. And when I see lots of things on the CV, just, everywhere, then it really gets tiring to read. So if you think that now what I've done
What I
is
find very difficult is that in this country you have to sell yourself, here, come and buy me, kind of thing. Which I find very difficult, selling, I can do this, I can do this. It's very egoistic idea, which I feel like, oh, I can do this, I can do that. It's little bit contrast to our upbringing, where we do not sell ourselves. So it's very, difficult. But thank you for your input. Yes.